Hello, wonderful listeners. Welcome to English Stories, the place where stories come alive and help you learn English with joy. I'm Aliana, and today I have a special story just for you. Are you ready to travel with me through a story that will inspire you to learn English through the magic of tales? Then let's begin. Asha sat by the window of her small house, watching the rain fall gently on the green leaves outside. She loved the smell of the earth after the rain, but today her mind was busy. She wanted to speak English well. Not just read it or write it, but really speak it confidently. But every time she tried, her voice was soft, and the words would get stuck. She was shy and afraid of making mistakes. Her father once told her, "Asha, learning English is not just about books. You must learn it through stories. Stories will help you remember the words and how to use them." First, she did not understand. How could stories teach her language? One day, at the village library, Asha met Mr. Thomas. He was an old, kind man who used to teach English. When he saw her struggling with a grammar book, he smiled and said, "Grammar is good, but for speaking you need stories. Stories help you learn how people really talk." The next day, he began to tell her a story. "Once there was a little bird," he said softly. "The bird was afraid to fly. Every day, he sat on his branch watching the other birds soar in the sky. He was scared to leave the safety of the tree." Asha closed her eyes and imagined the little bird, trembling on the branch. Then Mr. Thomas continued, "One day, a strong wind shook the tree. The bird had a choice: fall or fly. He spread his wings and flew higher than ever before. He was free." Mr. Thomas looked at Asha and asked, "What do you think happened?" Asha smiled slowly. The bird was scared. Then the wind came. He flew. He was happy. "Very good," said Mr. Thomas. "The story teaches us to be brave, even when we are afraid. And your English is good too." Each day after that, Asha came to listen to a new story. Mr. Thomas told tales about animals who were clever, kind, or brave. There was a story about an honest woodcutter who lost his axe in the river. A fairy appeared and offered him a golden axe, but he said, "That is not mine." She gave him a silver axe. Again he said no. Finally she gave him his real axe. Because he was honest, he was rewarded. Asha practiced telling the story in her own words, sometimes slowly, sometimes with more confidence. She spoke. "The man lost axe. Fairy gave gold. Man said no. Fairy gave silver. Man said no again. Fairy gave real axe. Man honest. Man happy." With time, she added more words and feelings. He was honest, so he got good rewards. Beyond the stories, Asha began to see stories everywhere. At the market, she would watch the sellers and think about their lives, telling herself small stories in English. The woman sells bananas. Maybe she wants money to help her children go to school. One afternoon, she told her little brother Ravi, "Would you like to hear an English story?" Ravi nodded shyly. Asha told him the story of the lion and the mouse. Though her English was slow and sometimes unsure, Ravi loved it and clapped happily. That made Asha feel proud. Then a big event came. The village organized an English storytelling contest. Asha's heart raced when she heard. She wanted to join, but doubt filled her mind. What if I make mistakes? What if people laugh at me? Mr. Thomas smiled warmly. Speak from your heart. People will listen because of your courage, not because you are perfect. Asha believed him and chose a story, The Clever Crow. She practiced every day. She would say, "A crow was thirsty on a hot day. He found a pot with little water. The crow put stones in the pot. The water rose. He drank happily." She added, "This story teaches us not to give up and to think carefully." On the day of the contest, Asha stood on the small stage. Her hands trembled, but she took a deep breath. "Good morning," she said. "Today, I will tell you a story about a clever crow." As she spoke, her voice grew stronger. She told the story with all her heart. When she finished, the room burst into warm applause. Asha felt she was flying just like the little bird from before. She did not win the first prize, but she had won something more important: confidence. After the contest, Asha started a small storytelling group in her village, under the shade of a big banyan tree. Every week, children came to hear her stories and tell their own. Their English was not perfect, but they laughed and learned together. One day, Ravi told a story about his cricket game in English. Everyone clapped with joy, and Asha smiled proudly. Stories had given them all a voice. Years passed, and Asha became a teacher. She often told her students, "Don't be afraid of mistakes. Learn English the way you learn your mother tongue, through stories. Let your heart speak. Speak even if your grammar is not perfect." She added with a smile, "Stories are more than words. They give you courage and connect you with others." So, dear listener, remember Asha's journey. Learning English through stories makes the language alive. Stories help you remember, speak, and share. Start with a story today. Speak with your heart, and slowly English will become your friend. Thank you so much for listening to English Stories with me, Aliana. If you enjoyed this story and want to keep learning English in a fun and easy way, be sure to subscribe and join us for more wonderful stories every week. Remember, your journey to English fluency is just a story away. Until next time, keep listening, keep speaking, and keep shining. Goodbye.